Ren opened his eyes. The room was silent. Too silent. He grabbed his phone. The screen was black. He pressed the button. Nothing. The battery was dead. He looked at the old analog clock on the wall. It was 8:15 a.m. Ren sat up in bed, his heart pounding like a drum. Thump thump. Thump thump. His job interview, the interview that could change his entire life, was at 9 a.m. He had exactly 4 to 5 minutes to shower, dress, travel across the city, and look professional. He ran to the bathroom and turned the handle. Sputter. Hiss. No water. Ren looked at himself in the mirror. His hair was messy. His eyes were tired. And he had no water, no phone battery, and no time. But before we find out if Ren makes it to the biggest meeting of his life. Hello, early birds. Welcome back to the podcast. I am your teacher, and today we are going to survive the day. In this episode, you will learn English by listening to the story of Ren, a young man who faces a series of unfortunate events on a very important morning. We are going to master the vocabulary of daily routines and city life. We will talk about transportation, morning tasks, and how to handle stress when the world is working against you. To help you navigate your own busy life, we are going to focus on 3 specific power words that you will hear today: commute, errands, and hectic. Are you ready to start the day? Let's wake up. Ren didn't have time to think. He poured a bottle of cold water over his face to wake up. He put on his best blue suit. He grabbed his bag and ran out the door. He lived in a small apartment on the edge of the city. To get to the city center, he usually took the subway. But today, without his phone, he couldn't check the schedule. He ran to the station. The air was cold and damp. It had rained the night before, and the streets were filled with puddles. Let me paint the picture. It was the peak of the morning rush. The sidewalks were crowded with people. Everyone was walking fast, holding cups of coffee, looking at their watches. Ren reached the subway platform. It was packed with people. He tried to squeeze through the crowd. "Excuse me. Pardon me," he said. But then, a voice came over the loudspeaker. "Attention passengers. Due to a signal failure, all trains are delayed." Ren groaned. A delay means the train is late. It means he was stuck. He couldn't wait. He had to change his plan. He had to find another way to commute. Let's stop for a second. To commute is the verb we use for traveling from your home to your work. It is a regular journey. Ren's commute was usually easy, but today, it was a nightmare. Ren ran back up the stairs to the street level. He decided to take the bus. He saw a bus approaching the stop. It was a big, red double-decker bus. He waved his hand. The bus stopped with a screech of brakes. Eek. Ren jumped on. He tapped his card on the reader. Beep. He found a seat near the window. He checked his watch. 8:35 a.m. He had 25 minutes to go 5 miles. The bus moved slowly. The traffic was terrible. Cars were bumper to bumper. This means the cars were so close they were almost touching. Ren looked out the window. He saw people doing their daily tasks. He saw a woman walking a dog. He saw a man carrying a bag of laundry. He saw a postman delivering letters. Everyone was busy running errands. An errand is a small job, or task you have to do outside the house. Going to the bank, buying milk, or mailing a package, these are all errands. Ren wished he was just running errands. But he wasn't. He was trying to save his career. Suddenly, the bus stopped again. The driver turned off the engine. "Sorry folks," the driver shouted. "Construction ahead. We are going to be sitting here for a while." Ren looked at his watch. 8:45 a.m. He couldn't sit. He couldn't wait. He stood up. He pushed the button to open the doors. He jumped off the bus and started running. Ren ran past the bakery. He smelled fresh bread. He ran past the florist. He smelled roses. But he didn't stop. He was sweating in his suit. His tie was flying behind him. This morning was absolutely hectic. Hectic describes a situation that is very busy, fast, and chaotic. When you have too much to do and not enough time, your life is hectic. Ren turned the corner. He saw the tall glass building where the interview was. It was called the Pinnacle. It looked giant and intimidating. He checked his watch as he ran. 8:55 a.m. He had 5 minutes. He ran through the revolving doors. Whoosh whoosh. He stood in the lobby. It was cool and quiet. The receptionist sat behind a marble desk. She looked perfect. Not a hair out of place. Ren walked up to the desk. He was panting. He was sweating. He looked like he had run a marathon. "Hello," Ren gasped. "I am here for an interview with Mr. Sterling." The receptionist looked him up and down. She raised one eyebrow. "Name?" she asked coolly. "Ren," he said. "Ren Soto." She typed on her computer. Click clack click. Ren held his breath. He hoped he wasn't too late. He hoped they hadn't cancelled. "Mr. Soto," she said. "You are early." "Early?" Ren looked at the clock on the wall. It was 8:58 a.m. "I am just on time." "No," the receptionist said, pointing to a screen. "Mr. Sterling's secretary emailed you this morning." The interview was pushed back to 10 a.m. Ren froze. He remembered his dead phone. He remembered the black screen. He hadn't seen the email. He had run through the city, fought the subway, and escaped a bus for nothing. Ren laughed. It was a nervous, crazy laugh. He had an hour. He had a whole hour. "Is there a restroom?" Ren asked. "I need to fix my tie." "Down the hall to the left," she said. Ren walked to the restroom. He splashed water on his face. He combed his hair. He straightened his tie. He realized that even though the morning was a disaster, he had made it. He had survived the commute. He walked back to the lobby, sat in a comfortable chair, and closed his eyes. For the first time all day, he relaxed. Ren has an extra hour to relax. But before he meets his boss, let's take a moment to breathe and study the power words that described his crazy morning. Word number 1, commute. This refers to the journey you make regularly between your home and your place of work or study. Example, my commute takes 45 minutes by train every morning. Context, Ren's commute was usually simple, but today it was difficult. Word number 2, errands. These are short trips you take to do necessary tasks. We almost always use the verb run with this word. We say, I need to run some errands. Example, on Saturday, I have to run errands. I need to go to the grocery store and the post office. Word number 3, hectic. This word means full of incessant or frantic activity. It is a great word to use when you are stressed and busy. Example, I had a very hectic week at work, so I planned to sleep all weekend. Okay. Ren survived his hectic commute. He isn't running errands, he is waiting for his big moment. Let's see what happens at 10 a.m. At exactly 10 a.m., a man walked into the lobby. He looked stressed. His tie was crooked. He was holding a broken umbrella. It was Mr. Sterling, the boss. Mr. Sterling walked up to Ren. Ren? Ren Soto. Yes, sir, Ren said, standing up and shaking his hand firmly. I am so sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Sterling said. My morning was absolutely terrible. My alarm didn't go off. The power was out at my house. And then, my car broke down on the bridge. I had to take the bus. Ren smiled. He looked at Mr. Sterling's wet umbrella. He looked at his messy hair. He realized that Mr. Sterling had the exact same morning as him. I understand, sir, Ren said calmly. The city can be very hectic in the morning. The commute is not easy today. Mr. Sterling looked at Ren. He saw that Ren was calm. He saw that Ren was composed. He saw a young man who was ready for anything. You seem very relaxed, Mr. Sterling laughed. I need someone calm on my team. Come on in. Let's talk. They walked into the office. The interview went perfectly. They didn't just talk about work. They talked about the bus, the rain, and the crazy city life. Ren realized that his bad morning was actually a gift. It gave him something in common with his boss. It showed that he could handle pressure. When Ren left the building an hour later, the sun was coming out. He walked to a shop. He bought a portable charger for his phone. He bought a warm coffee. He had finished his errands. He had finished his interview. He turned on his phone. It buzzed immediately. It was an email from Mr. Sterling. Great meeting you, Ren. You're hired. See you Monday. Ren took a sip of his coffee. It was the best coffee he had ever tasted. He walked toward the subway station. The trains were running again. He swiped his card and went home. The day that started wrong ended perfectly right. Ren learned that even when everything goes wrong, when the water stops and the bus is late, you can still succeed if you keep moving forward. Daily life is full of small obstacles, but they are just part of the journey. The moral of the story is this: you cannot control the traffic, but you can control your attitude. Now, I have a question for you about your daily life. How do you usually commute to work or school? Do you drive, take the bus, or walk? Tell me about your morning routine in the comments below. If you want to navigate your daily life in English with confidence, please click subscribe and listen to this episode next. We are going to explore small talk, how to chat with strangers about the weather and sports. Thank you for listening. Survive the hectic moments, enjoy your commute, and I'll see you in the next story.